In this sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. TenexToken. Play smart, play discreet. This is Kugan Cassius for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined by Johnny Fisher. What's with the glasses?
I always wear glasses when I play cricket or I go driving my car. I always wear glasses. But yeah, are you delighted to see me?
Absolutely delighted to see you.
Yeah,
Do you know
great.
what? I could actually give you advice as
Go on.
a single man that lives on his own. I'm going to order a bit of Chinese, right?
Yeah.
So for a single man who's ordering Chinese for one, not the way your
Yeah.
fucking dad does it.
No, I know the
What?
practical way.
Give me the order, and I'm going to do it now.
Right, you want something that can encapsulate many proteins in one dish and also give you a carb at the same time. There is only one for that. It's a house special chow mein,
Right.
or it's a house special fried rice. The house special chow mein or fried rice normally comes with beef, pork, chicken, and prawn in it, and then you get a gravy and noodles with that. And
Okay.
then really that if you're on your own, that's a meal on its own. But obviously the Chinese, you want to have a bit of this, bit of that. I'd go for something a bit lighter, so a salt and chili king prawn on the side with that. And then it's what you like, really. You're always going to get prawn crackers. And then if you how hungry are you feeling really hungry?
I'm getting to that point now. It's late to eat as
Yeah.
well. So
You
I've
probably
got
should have a beef in black bean or beef Cantonese style on the side with that, just to give something not fried, just something a little bit different on the side. And then you want a portion of sweet and sour chicken balls. So I think that's enough. Sweet and sour chicken balls, house special chow mein, salt and chili king prawn, and beef Cantonese style with some prawn crackers. I think that's 4 or 5 dishes. That's enough.
I don't even think I'd fucking eat all that, to be honest
If
with
you don't, you can leave it in the fridge, have it in the morning. Cold Chinese tastes better. You know that.
you. All right. Well, I'm ordering as we're talking, but it's not. I don't know where to start, but I know like the big news this week for yourself was your return fight back, but I can't kind of start with that with what's going on with your dad, and I'm going to be very careful what's being said about your father's situation at the moment. What can you tell us about it, and then I'll leave it there with you.
Big John excited to go and do his regular stuff like he's done 3 or 4 times before. Go to Australia, do a few bits and bobs. He's advertised where he's going, and he's been reprimanded at customs, and he's been detained. He's told me he's been in a room for 5 hours on his own with a glass of water, and that's it. No phone, no belongings, not knowing what's going on. And then 3 men have marched him through the airport, holding his arms. I don't know. It's just a bit dramatic. He's not a fugitive. He's not a terror subject. Do you know what I mean? He's not a suspect or anything like that. 3 men have marched him through the airport to a holding hotel where he is now in a room he's not allowed to leave with men guarding the door. And he's being escorted to the plane tomorrow where he will be flown home on his birthday
Yeah,
after
I
flying
know.
17 hours.
I saw the post. When is his birthday? What, the 15th?
Yeah, tomorrow. He's flying home tomorrow. His birthday. So he's having a great birthday.
Yeah, look,
But I just think it's
I
an
don't.
overreaction from their
Yeah.
part. It's not going to end well for them from a PR perspective, but I suppose they don't care like all government forces, and they just don't care what people think of them.
Yeah, listen, I've been in contact with your father all day today, and like, obviously, I just want him to get home safe, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
he said it made him. He said to me on the phone, it made him think how much he loves being at home and being from England. Like we moan a lot about where we're from, but there's just you can't beat your home comforts and being in your own 4 walls sometimes, can you? I mean, I'm sitting in my house, and there is nothing better than no fucker just bothering you sitting alone. So I think it's a little lesson to him as well. Sometimes a bit of peace and quiet is nice as well.
Yeah. He said something interesting to me on a message. He said, these things only happen to special people, Coogan, and he said, me and you are special. That's what he said.
Yeah, you are special, both of you, in your own way. So yeah, put you
Yeah,
both in the
thanks for
same
that.
bracket. Yeah.
Right, you're back out again very soon. Monaco. About time, Johnny.
Yeah, well, there was a couple of dates that were floated about, didn't work out for whatever reason. But it's been good really because it's allowed me more time to gel with Tony. And by God, bloody hell, it's hard training. It's another level of training to what I've ever experienced in my whole life. But that's how it should be. And I like the way that the training's diligent. I have a program of what I've got on every week, and I'm ready to show the boxing public that I could be a lot better than what I have been in my last couple of fights. And I think people close to me know that. My dad, uh, my trainers, anyone who's handled me, Sonny Cannon who trains with me, we know we can. There's no excuse for not being your best, and I'm looking forward just to getting in there and doing the job and being what I am, which is a wrecking machine. And that's what, when I look back to the first Saudi fight, the first fight with Dave, the Saudi fight, what got me through that fight was being super fit, super explosive, and just get wearing the other guy out as much as I was being worn out. I mean, I weren't at the peaks of my powers then because of the bicep injury, but I was super fit, that's for sure. And that should be a non-negotiable, being super, super fit.
How difficult has the last few months been for you? Because obviously you kind of had the first fight, and then there was a lot of talk which about that first fight, which led
Yeah.
to the rematch. But then from the rematch onwards, how difficult has that been for you mentally, more so?
I was talking to Sonny about this yesterday, actually. And the first few nights when you wake up, it's just a sinking feeling. Normally, after a fight when you've won, I normally forget that I've boxed or I forget what's going on. And I wake up like, what am I doing? What, I've got a fight. I've got a fight. And then I realise, oh, I've done it. I've won. I can chill out. But then after this one, it's the realisation that, oh, it's happened and you've been knocked out and you've lost. And it's a horrible feeling. But that lasted 4 or 5 days. And then what do? That's life. People have losses in their life, whatever they do. My loss is in front of thousands of people. My loss is not the be all and end all either. There's many a men in this boxing game that have lost to a hundred times greater fighters than I'll ever be. So you can't let it dishearten you. And the one thing that gives me optimism is that's not the Johnny Fisher that you saw in that copper box fight on the 17th of May is not the Romford Bull. That is not the style that I adopted for that fight. Is not me, and I wasn't equipped to do it either. And that's not a pinpoint blame on anyone in particular in the camp. Me, Mark, Sonny, my whole team, Adam, we all collectively thought that was a correct game plan, and we couldn't have been more wrong because that's taken away my best assets. And I think anyone with half a boxing brain can see that. And it doesn't mean that I would have gone on and won that fight, but I would have given a better account of myself. And how do I feel now? I feel good. I feel optimistic, and I feel like it's not about trying to prove a point to anyone. It's just about putting things right for myself, and it's quite exciting, really, because the expectation is off, and then it will build up again. That's what it's all about.
I know it's a very short period of time, but obviously you've had a trainer change.
Yeah,
How things how are things different for you now in terms of? I know it's a bit early to say because obviously,
yeah. We haven't had a fight, but
yeah.
yeah, but
How do you feel like just in training, etc. With that change?
yeah. Well, it's always going to be hard going from a new trainer because you do things slightly differently to how you done it before. And that's hard and it's tiring in itself. Just even when I started with Tony in shadowboxing and in my stance and how he wants me to stand and where he wants me to govern the ring and talking about ring generalship and ring craft and owning spaces of the ring, not going on the back of the ropes. Even that is just hard mentally. You sweat. I was sweating just thinking about what I was doing before I was even putting the gloves on. I
Mm.
mean, shadowboxing was so hard the first few 3, 4, 5 weeks. I've seen the same with Daniel. Daniel Dubois in the gym, and he said the same thing. It's so hard because you're learning new things. But now when I do it, it's embedded, and I'm using my natural attributes to make me a better fighter. I mean, the more athletic and the more explosive I am, the more I'm going to be able to do as a boxer and using my feet, using my ability to move. I'm not just a slow, plodding heavyweight. I've got fast hands. I can move, and I've always been athletic. So using them to my advantage, I think it just gelled well with how Tony goes about things, and to do what Tony wants me to do, I'm going to have to be super fit, and it's just everything's fitting in nicely as the way it should. I know it's early days, we haven't had a fight yet, but we're in a second week of training camp now, and it just feels right. I'm training twice a day, 6 times a week. I'm going to bed at 8:30 at night. You're keeping me up, and
Not half eight yet,
I'm
mate.
getting. It's not 8:30 yet, but I've been waking up at 6, 7. I'll just feel more productive. I feel like I've got a new lease of life, even though I'm sitting here now relaxing on my settee, so I look a little bit relaxed. But in terms of training and what I need to be doing, I think I'm heading in the right direction.
What do you know about your opponent, Matuvo?
I know he's got a decent record. I know he's 9-1. I know he's not the. He's a tall man, 6'4", but he's 210, 220 pounds. I'm 240, 250 pounds. He's going to be super fit. He's a Ugandan. 8 knockouts on his record. And I know he'll be hungry. He's won three on the bounce, but I do know that when he's stepped up to anyone of any level, he's been knocked out. And I think the Romford Bull version of me is the next person to deliver that knockout.
I do need to obviously speak to you about what occurred on the weekend.
Yeah,
We saw Dave Allen fall short against Makhmudov. Great atmosphere in there. You know about them atmospheres when the fans are behind you. They definitely were
yeah,
behind Dave Allen the other day, but it wasn't
definitely.
Dave Allen on Saturday night. And he was quite honest in his post-fight interviews about he felt like he wasn't good enough on the night to beat Makhmudov.
Well, Makhmudov has fought at the top level, hasn't he? I mean, he's a top 20 heavyweight. Um, when I watch Dave sometimes, I know I fought him, but if he just put his hands together even more so against someone like him, I think that was the consensus. But saying to someone to put your hands together and then being the person to actually do it are two very different things. It's a lot easier to just say it than to actually do it. But he looks in terrific shape. He obviously was to get to the final bell and to be contesting in there against someone of the size of Makhmudov. But I don't know. I just think sometimes I think about when people fight me or when Dave fought me, it was a bad time to catch him as well because he told me he came off the back of the Clark defeat and he wanted to put it right with people that are watching him, his close friends and family, and I just caught him at a bad time. And did he was up for this fight as well. I'm not saying that Makhmudov is not a top level operator, and he probably he's up there with the best in the world, the top 10, top 20. But I do think people get up for fighting me, and it's the same way that I'll get up for fighting someone who's a big name as well. So not saying I'm a big name in terms of being a top 10 fighter or a top 20 fighter, but I've got a big following as well. So that can raise your game. And yeah, we'll see how it unfolds in the next year or two with me and Dave, because I do want to have that fight again.
I'll come on to that in a second, but round nine, he really had his moment, and I know there's an argument if the round had gone on, etc., that it could have been a different story. But round nine kind of showed that Dave could have had the beating of Makhmudov. Obviously, it's not as simple as that. But how did you see that round nine?
I watched a bit of it on some highlights of it. Yeah, I mean, it's shoulda, coulda, woulda, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
if I got knocked down in the first round, I might get beat. In round two, if my auntie had bollocks, she'd be my uncle. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But for want of a better David Brent phrase, if you was 5 inches taller and your arms were 500 times bigger, you might be the world's strongest man. But who knows, Coogan?
Ifs and buts. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, but that was his
But
moment.
when he puts his hands together,
Yeah.
when he put his hands together, he looked good. He looked dangerous. But we all know what Dave is capable of. We know he can operate at that level, and he's got a solid chin, and we all know that. We all know that. But he just got beat on the night. He just got beat by the better man on the night. It's a game of boxing when two big blokes get in the ring.
Is that something? I know you mentioned this about a minute ago, but that is something at some point in your career you do want to revisit a trilogy fight with Dave Allen.
I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm chasing that fight at the minute, but that is a fight that is always going to be there. I think with the fan base that I've got, the fan base that he's got, the exciting way that we've had 2 good fights previous. So the third fight makes sense, and it is 1-1. So no matter how closely you scored the first fight, it could have gone around either way. I was sick of talking about that fight when it was happening, saying, "Oh, you've done this, done that," but I went in there the second time, got it wrong. So the third fight will be there in the offing at some point.
But before that, your attention is on Monaco and getting that job done first, obviously.
Without a doubt. I mean, got to win this fight. Got to win this fight. It's a must win. Every fight's a must win, but this one even more so now. And I'm putting myself in the best position to do it because this training is hard and this is how it should be. And I don't think if I'm being honest with myself, taking accountability myself, did I train hard enough in the last year? Probably not. Probably got too comfortable. Whether that was psychologically, subconsciously slipping in the back of my head, I weren't training hard enough. I weren't living that military lifestyle, that militant lifestyle of getting up, training early, doing all your stuff and having no energy by the end of the day. I wasn't doing that.
All right, well, listen, roll on Monaco. Everyone in their tuxes, apart from you guys.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that.
Will you be there?
I will be there. Yeah.
Well, you'll be having a nice whiskey on the
your lot,
rocks.
they've got to wear tuxes when they come there.
Well, I think Bad Rhino, the extra large men's brand, we'll have a few Romford Bull Army members calling them up, asking for some fat boy suits, so we'll see.
All right, well, listen, much appreciate your time, Johnny. I'll let you get back to cricket.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
And, yeah, we'll talk about your dad when your dad's home.
Lovely. We will do, Coogan. I'm sure he'll give you the scoop of what's gone on.
Let him get home first. Let him get home.
Let him get home. Let him get on the plane. I bet he's just waiting for that runway, then wheels to take off, and he'll just know he's outside of Australian airspace. Fucking hell. Get Big John home. Free him up. Free him up.
Absolutely. Johnny Fisher, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, Coogan.
Catch up
Thanks, mate.
In due course, all right?
Big mate.
This sport, you don't wait for judges to decide your fate. TenexToken puts you in control. Stake instantly, speculate discreetly, and keep your moves private. TenexToken. Play smart, play discreet.